Although the campaign in India had come to an end, Alexander's greatest trials were far from over. His army began the long journey home, marching through the deadly Gedrosian desert, one of the harshest landscapes on Earth. Scorching heat, endless dunes, and a desperate lack of water claimed the lives of thousands. More soldiers were lost in the desert than in many of Alexander's greatest battles. One day, exhausted soldiers found a small amount of water and brought it to their king. Instead of drinking it himself, Alexander poured it onto the ground before his men, refusing to take what his soldiers could not share. His selfless act inspired the entire army to continue the march. Against all odds, the survivors finally reached Persia. Their return marked the end of one of the most extraordinary military expeditions in history. Alexander entered the royal city of Susa in triumph, welcomed as the undisputed ruler of the greatest empire the ancient world had ever seen. Determined to unite his vast empire, he organized the famous mass weddings of Susa. Macedonian officers married Persian noblewomen, symbolizing his vision of creating one united people rather than two separate nations. Not everyone accepted these changes. At Opis, many Macedonian soldiers openly rebelled, believing Alexander had begun to favor the Persians over his own people. Standing before his army, Alexander delivered one of the most powerful speeches of his life. His words reminded the soldiers of everything they had achieved together, and soon the rebellion came to an emotional end as king and army were finally reconciled. Soon afterward, tragedy struck. Hephaestion, Alexander's closest friend and most trusted companion, fell seriously ill and died unexpectedly. The loss devastated Alexander. He mourned Hephaestion as a brother, refusing food, shaving the manes of his horses, and ordering days of mourning throughout the empire. To honor his lifelong friend, Alexander organized one of the most magnificent funeral ceremonies of the ancient world. A colossal funeral pyre was built, and thousands gathered to pay their final respects. Despite his grief, Alexander never abandoned his dreams. He immediately began planning new expeditions, imagining campaigns into Arabia and even farther beyond the known world. In Babylon, a massive fleet was prepared for future conquests. Once again, the empire was ready to expand. At its greatest extent, Alexander's empire stretched from Greece and Egypt to the Indus River, becoming the largest empire the world had ever seen. Before launching another campaign, Alexander personally inspected his army one final time. His soldiers remained loyal to the king who had led them across 3 continents. Soon afterward, Alexander attended a great banquet in Babylon. The celebration lasted late into the night, and no one imagined that history was about to change forever.